Hey you guys, it's Peter, and welcome to my channel, Peterisms, where I tell stories of my life and just little things that I've learned as I've grown into the person that I am today. And I was just rolling through my phone, looking at the comments, and I was trying to pick a comment or question to respond to. And I picked one, and then as I sat here and I straightened my shirt and tried to look all nice for you guys, nobody cares, right? Anyway, I was like, you know, this is a really great question, but I don't know that I have a definitive answer about this. I don't, so I'm just going to kind of like, I'm going to read the question, and then I'm just going to kind of like freely talk about a situation in my life or situations in my life and how I deal with those things. Because, and to be honest with you, a lot of times when people ask me questions like, if I'm a family member, what should I do? Or, you know, if I'm like, I don't know what to do in early recovery or, you know, grief. Like, I feel like I have definitive answers based on life experience. And you would think because of this question that I would. But, I mean, I've experienced this so many times in my life. And I have so many friends of mine that have experienced so many things similar to this. But I'm like, I don't know that I have definitive answers for this. So anyway, somebody reached out to me and they said, hey Peter, I've just been laid off and it's on top of other difficult things. How do we cope when things pile up on top of us? And I think it's a fantastic question, right? And I have a very dear friend of mine that just got laid off from her job. And, you know, she's stressed right now. And she's trying to figure out how she's going to pay bills. And, you know, and of course, you know, the encouraging friend around you says, oh, things are going to be okay. You're going to find something, you know, keep on trudging through and things like that, right? Like, you want to say those things. But I think when you're the person experiencing those things, and I have had moments like, at the time that my mom passed away, I was going through several difficult things. I had gotten out of a 6.5-year relationship. I was leaving a job that I had been at, you know, 3 months shy of 13 years. I was changing living situations. I mean, so much happened to me at that one time. And that was all during the time that my mom was sick and then eventually died. And it was like so much. I can remember thinking to myself, like, God, how much is one person supposed to handle? And I can remember later in talking to my cousin about, like, you know, my cousin, my aunt and uncle were sick. At the end, you know, my aunt passed away first than my uncle. My cousin was literally at the hospital, I mean, probably like 2 to 3 days a week, right? And it was just, like, really overwhelming for her. And I can remember she said something very similar to that. Like, I just don't know how much one person is supposed to take or how much one person can handle, right? And I said, well, Caroline, what do you do? And she said, I mean, this is what you do when you're an only child and you're a daughter, is you just keep on pushing through. And I said, Caroline, if you need something from me, if you need me to go there and whatever, and then she was like, no, this is, I need to do this. I need to do this for me, and I need to do this for them, right? I think it's really, really hard when you're going through stuff. One of the things I would say is this, that I have had to learn over time, and it's very difficult as a prideful, humble person, is to ask for help. You know, if there are things that you're dealing with, well, first of all, I would always recommend finding somebody, if you can, professionally to talk to. And if you know, money is an issue, there are a lot of people that work on a sliding fee scale, that the rates are very, very low and things like that. So you might be able to see somebody for like $20 a session and whatever. Just have somebody as a sounding board to bounce things off of, you know? That would be the first thing that I would say. The second thing is, if there are a lot of things going on in your life right now, you know, make an inventory, write a list. An inventory, like I refer to that in recovery a lot, but an inventory can just be literally like going in your closet, making an inventory of your clothes or your pantry, doing an inventory of what you have and what you need to throw out and keep, right? So maybe make an inventory of all of the things that are stressing you out in your life right now and are piling on top of you, and say, are there things that I have to handle alone, or are there things that I can handle and have help with my spouse if you have one, or a partner or a best friend or, you know, somebody else? I mean, are there other things that I can ask for help with so that I don't feel like it's too much coming down on me? Are there other people that I can talk to? Sometimes for me, I don't know about other people out there, but for me, when I vent and get something off my chest, that alone is enough, you know? Which is why I highly recommend talking to a friend about something, or finding like a talk therapist, a counselor, or a life coach to just have somebody that you can talk to about things. My supervisor back in the day, she was fantastic, and she like knew each of us like individually on like how to handle each of us. And I would go into her office, and I would start off, and I would be like, well, and you know, this and this and this, and blah, 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 whatever. And she'd just go, uh-huh. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can literally see her office with the window looking out over, like, the backyard, and I would sit there, and, you know, she would just sit there and look at me, Always eye contact, you know, and she would look at me and she'd just nod and go, I would literally sit there and talk for like 20 minutes. And then I get done, I go, God, I feel so much better. Thank you for listening. And she'd say, are you okay? And I'd be like, you are such a good therapist, such a good supervisor. Thank you for, and she'd say, Peter, I have learned that sometimes you just need to vent and then you're like 100 times better. And like, I remember the first time that she said that to me and I was like, she's so right. Thank you for giving me that and letting me know like what I need, you know, because now I know that sometimes in life I just need to get it out sometimes, and that I can do that in a journal. I can do that by talking to my sponsor. I can do that by talking to my husband. I can do that by talking in a vlog. I can do that, you know, by talking to my best Judy. I can do that in a lot of different ways, but sometimes I just need to vent and just get stuff out, right? Sometimes that's not enough. What I have to realize is not any one human being on this earth can handle everything that is handed to them in a day, you know? There's a recovery saying that says, God never gave us more than we could handle in a day, okay? And I was sitting in a meeting with somebody that I absolutely adore. And this man has had the most hellacious life and now has, I think, like a year less than me sober, like 27, 28 years sober, right? And it's such a shining example of recovery and applying it to every aspect of your life. But I remember sitting in a meeting with him and somebody brought up that topic, that God never gives you more than you can handle in a day. And the whole idea being that, you know, we can get through anything and whatever, right? And I don't know if you're a spiritual person or not, but like, you know, lean on music, lean on the universe, lean on whatever you need to if you're not. But I'll never forget, he said, very simply, he said this and then he passed. Like, he didn't go into like a 5-minute conversation about it. He just said this and he passed. And he said, I'm not a believer that God gives us more than we can handle in a day, because there's a lot of days that I believe God gives me things I can't handle. He goes, but what I know today is that with God, there is nothing that I am handed that I cannot handle. And I was like, that's really powerful, you know? With my support system, there's nothing I can't handle. With positive affirmations, there's nothing that I can't handle. With sitting down and going, this too shall pass, the sun will shine again, there's nothing I can't handle. Me telling myself, you're going to be okay. Somehow, this is going to work itself out. You've gone through worse things in your life, and those things work themselves out, and now look at you today. And they did. You're going to be okay. And believing myself, having other people tell me, you're going to be okay. Having other people believe in me. Going to my support network. Reaching out to other people, journaling, doing inventory. I mean, I'm not a big journaler, but I will write from time to time things that are stressing me out, and then I'll just throw that piece of paper away. And that helps me. Just get stuff out, you know, just journal it and write it out and throw it away sometimes. All of those things, I can get through stuff and handle it, you know? And so can you. You're going to be okay. Trust me. You're going to be okay. I love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.